Okay. Oh, how is everyone? Oh my lord, that was a big yawn. Hello, Hood Mystic. How are you? How is everyone? Hello, Jem. Hello, Roma. Pooja says, what are the current feelings of Biswit for me? There's an overall feeling of coldness towards you, and there's a feeling of that you're not listening to him. So there's kind of like this feeling of, if you don't listen to me, I'm just going to be colder towards you. That's what's coming up. Even though he still wants this connection, it feels like this person's just not in the mood of listening to you more than you need to listen to him. Okay? Hood Mystic says, how is A going to view the messages I just sent him? So there's a heart healing, there's getting out of their headspace, and they'll probably rush to reply. That's probably not a great thing for them to do, but I do feel like it's seen with some relief, this one. Okay? Hello, Arita. Ripali says, does Mayak miss me and will reach out in the coming days time frame? Don't think so. Based on this, I would say no. Death card in reverse. Yeah, I don't feel like he's going to reach out anytime soon towards you. Okay. I'm very sure you're going to ask me, Pendulum, so is he going to reach out to you? No. So, yeah. No to that. Angelina says, does Timo think of me? What does Timo think of you? Guys, if you do paste down your questions, make sure that you allow other people to paste their questions too. So if people are very quiet, they still get that answer read today. Okay? So, Angelina, how does Timo feel for you? So there's kind of a little bit of attention. Get up and go and explore the world. So this person is investing a little bit in this relationship, but there's also a feeling of like adventure, joyousness. Ah, the Temperance card was hidden underneath. I didn't even see that. So, why they're investing little into this kind of connection is because they want to moderate their behavior. They don't know where they're going in life, so they don't want to get really like stuck. And then if they're traveling, you're going to have a harder time trying to connect with them. Okay? Hello, Alex. How are you? Jem says, hello, cast. Does my person Bokel is going to planning to reconnect again with his ex-person? Thank you so much. It feels like, yeah, Jem, based on this death card, they are very stuck in the past. There's also no imagination when it comes to you. So there's kind of like this feeling of getting out of self-reflection phase. So I do feel like they will reconnect with their ex, and it's probably more a matter of time. Jade says, "Hi, Cass. Does Kay have romantic feelings for me?" Yeah, there's a feeling of being very caught up in you, Jade, which is interesting, Jades. Because this is coming with the detriment to their mind. So with this, they're mentally struggling. They're also kind of really not trusting themselves very well or talking bad about themselves to themselves, you know? And there's fear. So this person is like, how can I explain it? A little bit obsessed with you, but in a way that it might not be good for their mind right now, is that they won't trust it so much. Cozy Black Girl, thank you for the donation. How does Aelon, the Gemini, feel towards Daimon? How does Aelon, the Gemini, feel against Daimon? So there's temperance here. So there's kind of like this feeling of patience and seeing a bigger picture on this relationship. So they've gone through something. They've gone through something together. And it's like they're starting to realize if they want to continue this relationship or they should walk away from it, because there's kind of like a feeling of like, should we call it or should we kind of like proceed on instead of like being really in that committed state. And with the temperance, it's like moderation as well. So there you go. Thank you, Cozy, for that donation. Aldonia says, "Can I have a general?" Of course. Aldonia, there's kind of like a feeling of, yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. It's like at the moment you're kind of sitting there going, I'm going to do stuff for myself. So you kind of freeze people out right now, and you're doing everything by yourself when you shouldn't be. There's kind of like this feeling of like, hey, you should not really be doing this. It's kind of creating this problem, and your heart is healing. So I do feel like you're going to be connecting with a lot more people. I think it kind of remove a little bit more of your blunt nature, or kind of like, hello, Maritia, how are you? Blunt nature, and just like allow people to come in for you. Your healing's happening, so that's why that's really coming up for you. Cupcake Facts Journey. Hello, if I could have a reading about my career. Would to be wild, thank you so much. I will get to your message shortly. Okay, so with this, I would definitely say to you that you might need to listen more to people that are in your area of expertise, because at the moment you're not listening to your competitors. There's a feeling of that someone at work or someone around you, King of Swords, is making your life miserable. Um, there's kind of like this feeling of needing to step away from this connection. Whatever it is just like step away, stop kind of working on this connection with this person, because they're not very, very nice, and that's a masculine in nature. the Empress. So therefore you're going to be tapping into your creativity very soon. However, I don't think with this career or this job, it's giving you a lot of benefits or a lot of like um bonuses. I think that I would like to say bonuses. And so therefore I think this is connected with the King of Swords here. So kind of I don't I feel like you're being trapped because of this particular King of Swords. If you did relocate or move job or, like distance yourself from this person, then I feel like you would be in a better position for sure. There you go. Born to be wild. Does he still have feelings and will he reach out? Okay. He does have feelings for you. This is a very, very strong. You're very welcome, Cupcake. It's very strong because he's in his mental struggle. There's kind of like this feeling of mental struggle or, just not being able to cope. And the caring and protection. So this person cares for you very much and wants to protect you from a lot of things in life. This get up and go kart, there could be this kind of playing off each other, like they want to be a better person for you, but they're also holding themselves back, because that's the case. Okay? So thank you for the donation. Maritia says, what does 2023 hold for me and Jam? Jam. Okay, so 2023 might be a little bit more colder. So nothing tends to progress a lot this year as much as you want it to be. But there seems to be like a lot of your conflict slots of your arguments are settled into the past. So it doesn't seem like a lot of things changed for 2023, but there's a lot of conflict that's be settled last year. The start, there is a wish fulfillment card. I feel like this is more for you. So something's coming in that will grow you. I think more grow you than this other person. I I feel like they might get frustrated because honestly you want this. Hello Beverly, how are you? You want this more than they do. But, there's kind of like this feeling of you should accept this because it will change the way that you perceive yourself. Bahar says, will I have emotional news this month? News on new love or ex? I'm not in a relationship. You want emotional news this month. Okay, Bahar, your heart is full. I'm going good, Beverly. Thank you very much for asking. Your heart is full, so like if anybody comes in right now, you haven't given them space. So you need to give them enough space, like enough openness for people to come in, because if they came in, your heart space is full, so they just bounce off it. This can be also like this kind of feeling of like they have to prove something to me before I let them in. The other thing is that you're not listening. There's kind of like this feeling that you're not listening to someone right now because you could actually bring someone in because there is interest in you, but because you're not listening and you're not giving them space in your heart space, they're not coming in for you until you like open your heart and you're actually listening instead of like, you know. But Budgie says, when will I get judgment on my court case? Why does everything seem stuck in my life? Why? Okay, so you're not going to get any like answer from the courts right now. Um, expect this to be protracted. There's not enough information for them to finish up this divorce case. There's another thing that I would definitely feel for you is like you don't have like a healthy sense of self right now. So anything that's coming in for you that is good will quickly pass through your life. So I would take time to actually start really seeing yourself as being amazing and a wonderful person. There's a feeling that you're holding on or being possessive of some things. This you can let go and allow things to naturally come in for you this way. So sometimes it's easier to receive things if we give, and that doesn't mean money. This can be like things that you don't need anymore, or just acts of service, acts of kindness to bring in more to you. So let me ask how long this is going to take. How many years? Okay, is this year? How many months? Is that what you wanted? 8 months from now, Baji. So pretty much like nearly the end of the year for you. Beverly says, will my interview for promotion go well tomorrow? You're very welcome. Do interview to promotion tomorrow go well. Okay. Queen of Wands, stop focusing too much on this. That's one thing that I would say. I think that they will give you like almost like a budgie offer or something like that. So definitely if you have time today, double check like with competitors or something like how much they would pay you, or if you have a friend at another company, you should be like, well, now no, I have another offer from another company, because I do think that they'll give you a pay rise because you're a very hard worker, but it won't be as good as you want it to be. And so there's kind of like this life choice about like, do you just like take it and find another job, okay? Hello, Ripsa. How are you? Hello, June. All About Maine says, hope everything's well with you. It is, thank you. Can you tell me when I'll get the approval for the rental house I applied for? Okay. Okay. Let go of the fear first. I think there's a lot of fear here. I don't feel like it's going to take that long, but it kind of feels like it might be something different from what you apply for now, because there's kind of like this feeling of being a little bit disappointed when you get this. But the hangman, you're naturally going to drop into this decision, and it'll be better than I think this application you've got already. So do kind of think, okay, there's might be actually something else that you can apply for, because that's important. The start is a wish fulfillment card, or just growing things, but a lot of times I feel like the only detractor for you is this fear that's coming up very strongly. So I feel like you will get something that you really want, and it's quite soon. So I would say if it's not this month, it's next month for you, okay? Sharita says, will me and Justin have a healthy relationship? No. I'll tell you why. This person's quite deceptive, quite deceiving. Um, they mostly lie to make them look better, so it's kind of like a self-esteem issue. It's not like really bad, but they tend to be a little bit more cagey, a little bit more nervous. And this get up and go card, when they're found out, they'll just leave. Firstborn says, is Sam really single or is he actually dating someone? I am not 100% about what's going on in his love life because he's so shy and private. I can't get much information out of him. Okay. No, he is definitely not dating someone. Um, his love life is as barren as yeah, like yeah, it's not going anywhere, and he's not controlling it. So it's kind of like he's given up, like even thinking about a romance or. So yeah, he's not dating anybody. He's coming out of his self-reflection phase. So I think it's kind of like he wants a relationship, but he's not seeking one. So he's just and yeah, it's coming through that he's quite nervous, quite shy around women in general. Not he can be a little bit more around masculine, like stepping up and being a little bit more open, but around women, he's just tongue tied. Era says, when will I get rid of my ex illegally? Well. You could get rid of your ex cough cough illegally, but then you'd have to do the 25 to life kind of scenario. Um, you could say it's illegally, but like goes through court. Don't do that. Yeah, no. Before anybody sits there and goes, tarot is for information purposes only, okay? So there's a death card, so you're holding on to something in the past. That's important. It's kind of a feeling of that something is holding you back from this decision. It's weird because you have to keep on contact with your ex. There's kind of like this feeling of that you need to keep talking to them or keep doing something with them. And the hangman is like you'll naturally drop into this kind of ending. Let me double check because it felt like it's the 8th month. Is this the 8th month? So 8 months from now. So that's yeah. There you go. Illumia says a message from my guide how I deal with past family toxicity and what's next for me. You need to freeze them out a lot more. You need to freeze them out a lot more and be more in control of your life. Don't let other people dictate your actions or your decisions. So there's kind of like stepping into a little bit more of a yeah, Era, you might have to keep on talking to him. the cards say so. But you have to be more in control of your life and bring like a little bit more of a energy to that of really being quite stern with other people. I know that's not like your biggest thing, but yeah. And the future for you seems to be very stable, very happy. You'll be very happy in the future. More that you're not going to explore this year. There's kind of like this feeling of being at home, being at rest, um, being around closest friends, but that's it for this year, you know. Queen Libra says current feelings of end towards me. This person is in a mental headspace as well, you know. Um, so they're in a mental struggle. This could be about finances because the rest of these seem very, very good. And this would make sense for it to be a mental struggle over finances. So, sorry, I'm gonna turn off the heater. So there's like this caring and protection. So there's kind of like that this person wants to care and protect you. And the other thing is that they want a family with you, or they want a family. They want that kind of connection with you. So this would make perfect sense for it to be a little bit more mental things about money. Uh, Cellini says, "Am I right by stepping away stepping away about a?" Okay. Are you right stepping away from A? I think you are very much right by stepping away from this person. However, is going to look on the outside like um you're going to have trouble from other people and yourself. So with this moon upright means that we get judged by other people. And justice in reverse, you're judging yourself harshly because of this. So it's kind of like this feeling of that you have chosen the right path, but don't feel like it's going to make you feel better until, like, you know. Okay? Lord says, "How are you? I'm going good." Let me scroll up and get your question right. I had so many. Question one. Yesterday, I had so many problems with the internet while I was in a course. Will my final evaluation be affected by that? Oh, and I'm shuffling my cards in reverse. That was kind of a weird thing. It was just like this feeling of shuffling cards in reverse. I think that you will get a good score. However, you should tell the person that was running the course that you couldn't get it because of your internet issues. Do realize that some other people might feel like that's a little bit more favoritism, but I do feel like overall you did very well, but it's not going to be as great as if you do the test again, you know? Do, 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 do. Shagufta says, Fazlia says, what does Farhan have positive love feelings? What will he give me on February 15th with classmates? Does he have. He doesn't seem to have positive love feelings. I would say no to that you are not going to get anything from February 15th from him because there seems to be no positive love feelings between you guys. Sorry. Arjun says, current feelings of Dixon for me. When will he contact? No contact now. Okay. Current feelings of Dixon for you. What is he feeling now, and will he contact you? Okay, so there seems to be a lot of his thoughts that are very focused on you. Hello, scientist. The Hermit, this person's scared of other people. And that's why he really hasn't contacted you. So there's kind of like this feeling of when he's thinking about you, he's kind of scared. And there's a feeling of walking away. So I don't feel like this person's going to contact you. Unless they change their mind, which I feel like they wouldn't. It feels like there's a finality tone towards this. Aldous says, is everything over between me and H? Will he ever fight for me? No, nothing's actually over with this one, Aldous, because the magician, this person's imagining or recalling like happy memories. There's this feeling that you're going to move in and get married. So there's kind of this very positive vibe here that you will get what you want with this relationship. So it might take you like the end of this year to really decide where you guys want to go with this relationship, but that's the case. Um, Moonsun says, what is my Capricorn's current feelings? We're separated. I'm Leo. Your Capricorn's current feelings at the moment. We have a masculine card, so if you're asking about a masculine figure, it is them. If you're the more masculine in the relationship, it's you. So King of Pentacles in reverse is very much focused on money. And when they're focused on the money, they'll chase money. And so when they're chasing money, money is not going to come in for them. You know, money tends to slip away from anybody that's chasing it. It waits until people are ready and stuff like that. So yeah, so the person you're asking about is like chasing money. So this is going to be slow going because they have to get over this. So it could be that they're trying to work hard for something and they're not getting it. Um, and this feeling of struggling and winning. So you're struggling and winning, but it's going to take a while for them to really come back in contact with you because they're just putting that work into um their career or their job without like they're working hard but there's no upside, you know? So it's kind of like they're working and they're not getting that. Sepwa, just put down your question. I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. Muncia says, hi, gorgeous. It's Munizia. Okay, sorry. Will the permanent reunion with Muhammad Amin happen in 2023? Yes. Yes, it will. This is divine timing. Why do we have a weakness card? Can I have a clarification for the weakness card? There's a weakness card because there seems to be other options coming in for you instead of like you waiting for this connection. But yeah, I would say yes to this. Divine Soul says current feelings of Owen. I feel too much energetic connection today. Why it looks like he's walking away. Hello, Aisha. How are you? Okay, you went through a very, very hard day today, Divine Soul, and it's put you in a negative mood, a negative mindset. That's very strong. So you're starting to really kind of think over and over and over again what you could have done or what you could have improved on in this relationship to get this like Owen back or like keep him. However, because like this person still thinks about you and they still want to look after you, and there's kind of like this feeling of you're still very cute and very much in that life. I don't think that they've walked away energetically. It's just because you had that day, you were starting to feel your energy, like the heaviness of your energy. Astra says general end of the week and advice for today dealing with the property manager. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so there seems to be some kind of problem that's arising this weekend that you might not be able to surpass. It just is like this kind of end. The temperance in reverse, there's a lot of chaos, a lot of things that you might need to get in control with. So it just feels like you need to um, allow yourself to find documentation, lots of things to get ready for this person. So that's what I would say for you is just like that strong, yeah, strong kind of like find all your documentation, know where everything is, okay? That's very, very important. The death card, there's kind of like this proceeding over. So there's kind of a finality, and then you are going to be transitioning into another cycle. So I feel like this is the end for you, but this seems like a new beginning as well, you know? Alex Khan says, what are these next actions towards me? Excitement. This person's really excited and they're weak towards you. So there's kind of like, this is a good thing. That means that they're actually really attracted to you. So the excitement and the weakness. So they're allowing themselves to get fully into this connection with you. But there seems to be also this person proceeding on with life, taking, accepting what's coming and just going. So the thing is more that people like this are very sturdy. As soon as they've got the person that they want, they just keep on continuing in life, okay? So don't take that as a bad thing, you know, but that's a good thing. Municia, I already did your question, my love. Lucinda, will I be financially stable this month of February? Meaning, is money coming towards me? So there was tower moment with money. Um, so you need to rebuild your connection or build your relationship back with like the money. So you can build this, but you need to have more of stable foundation this month. King of Swords, there seems to be someone that is intelligent, a leader, kind of like a mentor. I do feel like you could probably find this person for free on YouTube. So take their advice with a grain of salt, you know. But I do feel like there's kind of like someone that's going to help you out with ideas how to go with that. And there's kind of like relaxing. Don't get too wound up too tight because you've been working really hard on this. But when we're like overwhelmed, when our like stress response is like out the window, you know, nothing will happen for us. Nothing kind of good comes in for us because we're just like, oh my God, you know, and you need to breathe and you need to relax, okay? Renata says, does Lucas Scorpio have romantic feelings for me, Libra? From that, I would say no. Yeah, no. Um, it might be that this person doesn't know anything about romantic feelings whatsoever, and it could be just that they're as dense as two bricks, you know? Like, you'd have to bash this person over the head, like, I like you a lot before they actually wake up. So do realize that you might have to, like, beat them over the head, not like just like in the words thing, not actually damage people, you know. No, that's not a good thing. Okay. Ariana says, how will my experience of working at the Outback be? Yeah, don't chase the money. We already discussed that. That's coming out very strongly again. Temperance, you need to moderate some kind of behavior, or this could be petrol miles. There's something about like saving money, gas mileage, petrol. It could be just that if someone else is like around where you live, it's like carpooling to save you money. And then yeah, just keep on proceeding in life. It seems like at the moment the cards are saying don't chase money, save it, moderate the things that you can save on, and then proceed on to something else. Because it seems like the cards are like, don't keep working on this particular thing. There's something better for you. Okay. How is everybody? Samia says, does Judgeret Aquarius told me the truth when he said he was a virgin, or was he lying? Yeah, he was lying. The first time was probably not something that he would say, you know, thank you, Divine Soul. Just put down your question and I'll answer that in a second. But yeah, there's kind of like this feeling of that he doesn't count it as the first time. So he wasn't a virgin, but he's pretty close to it, okay? So it was just like maybe blocked out. Blocked it out. So, you know, he was kind of not truthing, but you know, um I think it wasn't a great experience, but you know. Divine Soul says, when I get a decision, good news from Y. Wani, which I am waiting for. I think round the corner, the Ace of Cups and Page of Swords, yes. The one thing that I would say is that if you're chasing certain amount of money, you might not get it. But the good news is around the corner. So this is very, very, very quick. I would say this week. This week, you know. So Kania says, nice to see you. How does Omar Libra feel about me? We're separated. Heartbreak. Heartbreak. This person's not manifesting you back in their life, and it feels like this person's kind of ignoring you or walking away from you. There's kind of like this feeling of, okay, you know, it's enough. I'm gonna walk away now. Okay? Annie Anya says, can you please tell me what that I will leave my current college and go back home within the next 3 months? I don't know why you want to leave. The cards say to no, thank you, Divine Soul. Thank you for the donation. The cards say that you're going to be more relaxed. So there's kind of like this relaxing thing. Take your time to get to your decision. The the moon means that there's kind of pressure on you to keep on continuing or keep on going. So just feel like that's the case, that keep on persisting if you're not persisting already. Um, and you have a healthy sense of self. So anything good that's coming in for you is very, very good. So I do feel like take your time to come to your decision instead of really pushing yourself one way, you know? Pink Light says, will my family persecute me further despite leaving them behind? How will February, March be for me? Oh, they will still do that, but you should relax on that. You should relax on that. Let it go. You're way above that. So don't think about it so much. King of Pentacles. So you're saying like February, March, stop chasing money. Stop chasing the money. Allow money to come to you. This could be actually like working on things that you love or working on serving other people so the money will come in for you, okay? Zero to Success says, this is pale. Will you tell mystery continue the love relationship with Pale, or will he move on? He's he's going to continue this relationship. However, he is unsatisfied and unfulfilled. It's kind of like this feeling of this person doesn't know what they want. Even though they want to continue this relationship, they're not choosing the right life choices to make it really committed. That's coming through. And there's kind of a feeling that they're chasing money or chasing, and they're not investing in this relationship. This is taking all their time. So that's important. Alex says, ask feelings for me, please. So death, temperance. So this person sees you as being very strong, very competent. You might be running your own business or something that puts you in a very, very high professional standing. Temperance and death. This person feels like they just can't measure up to you. There's kind of like this feeling that you've got this together, like you've got your life together, but they don't, and that's the death card. So they're transitioning on to a different part of their life or transitioning away from you. So I don't feel like this person's coming back into your life anytime soon. Arita says, or at all. With that death card, it's quite a final thing. Okay. Arita says, please love messages for February for me. Okay, so there's someone that is very close to you that has a crush on you. You might not even know. They kind of keep themselves under the radar. So even though you're a very good judge of people, it doesn't seem like you've understood that yet. The rest of like your life this February is going great. So I don't think that love is going to be an obstacle. It's just that the cards are saying, okay, like you're going to be proceeding, working on your life, getting rewarded, and that you're able to bring like a healthy sense of your own self to these equations, and anything good will be caught by you and you won't let them flow out of your life. Okay? Iman says, please current feelings for Ayub Virgo towards me. Hello, Caitlin. How are you? So, what was that? So Iman says, please current feelings of Ayub Virgo towards me. Does he still miss me or thinking of his past relationship? The problem is that this person's really not working hard on this relationship at all. They're also in mental struggle, so it could be that they're trying to prove that this connection won't last. And there's kind of like this feeling of judging you or trying to see the red flags in this relationship to prove that they don't need to work hard on this connection. This can happen quite a lot if this person feels unloved or unwanted through a lot of their life. It's just come back very strongly in their lives. You know. So that's coming up for them. So they do think of you, but it's more like trying to judge, you know, whether they should do that. Caitlin says, what should I do? What do I need right now to grow? Keep on persisting. Keep on persisting. Don't chase money. As I said, don't chase the money, chase enjoyment. You're very welcome, Iman. Divine, thank you. I will do your question in a second. So don't chase money. Work on something for the enjoyment or work on serving other people and money will flow. Ace of Swords in reverse. You feel like the sky is falling down, but it's only in your mind. This is not in your reality. So I do feel like if you are holding on to quite a lot of anxiety, you need to breathe. You need to remove any kind of caffeine if you're drinking lots of caffeine. But there's kind of like a thing that I would say for you. Divine Soul says, do you see that Wani's decision is in my favor? Will there be closer or will things prolong? So it feels like it's going to be a fair a fair assessment. So I do feel like it won't be completely in your favor, but it will be fair for you, Divine Soul. So that's one thing that I would definitely feel for you. It won't be prolonged, but there's kind of like this feeling of like you will feel like it's going to prolong, and then it's kind of like something will happen and so it will close early. So it's kind of like this feeling of like you'll think it's going to prolong and then something happens and they close the case early. You know, they close the thing early. Lily, thank you for the donation. Please put down your question. That is a very cool sticker. Not gonna lie. It looks so cool. Closure, you will get closure. Lily Cat says, hi, I'm a Libra. Recently cut my Scorpio out because he ghosted me while away on vacay. I want to know what his current feelings about and what will happen between us. So his current feelings about you are very strong. So there's kind of like this feeling that you're very passionate, very fiery individual. There's kind of like that bit that you had that fire in your belly. Give me 1 second, Divine. I will get back to your question. So there's kind of like this feeling that he's going, oh, she didn't mean it, you know? There's kind of like, oh yeah, she does this all the time. He still wants to move in with you and kind of create that space together. However, there's kind of a feeling that you should save your own emotions and feelings until he comes back to you. Because yeah, unfortunately, I think that he assumes that it wasn't as serious as it was. Okay. That's one thing that I would say. I will find out a time frame for you when he's coming back. When is he coming back to you? This month he's coming back to you, so February month, yeah. Or trying to come back to you. Thank you, Caitlin. You're so kind. Thank you so much. Divine Soul, so when is it going to end for you? Yeah, it definitely feels like it's calling me to the two. Yeah, 2 months from now, Divine. There you go. 2 months for you. Um, Victoria says my arm shoulder has been bothering me. Going to the doctor. When will I find full recovery? You're very welcome. Okay, so there's kind of like this feeling that you will go through some kind of treatment for your shoulder. So this could be not, I'm not a doctor, but it feels like there might be some fluid there that they will drain and they will work on that. But I do feel the recovery is not that like that hard for you because at some point in time, I do feel like you were training for something. You were an athlete of some kind. So you're not like like other people where you don't do the exercises or you don't actually do the work, and I do feel like you will have full recovery soon. It's just like a matter of patience and a matter of doing the exercises. I'm sure the doctor will love you. Like, the lovers are here, so your doctor will love the crap out of you because he'll be like, or they will be like, oh, wow, okay. There you go. Uh, AB Bonnie. Hi. Hi. If I ask the girl in charge and to change the job title that I would like to apply for from trainer to community mobilizer. Ooh. What does the community mobilizer do? No bueno. No bueno. She doesn't want to change that. Um, it would suit you. It would suit you, but no bueno. There seems to be like that they don't have enough budget for like to change to a specific job role. And she's also lazy. I know that sounds horrible, but most of the time when we're like, oh yeah, but we just put that up, it's going to take us a while, it's just, you know. But I think that you could do this on your own. I think that you're a very good community mobilizer anyway, and you should do this, but as a side income or a side hobby, so you can then supplement your income and work towards being more financially free. Okay. Mahini says AJ's current feelings and intentions towards me. So this person's not working hard on this relationship. It's because they're in their own headspace. So, what I would say for this person is they think that they are putting in enough in this relationship. And it's because their point of view, their mind is like, oh, yeah, I've done enough, you know. Um, this is not good, but you might not be able to wake this person up. They're not going to see a problem until you're like, hey, it's wrong. Like, you never spend any time with me. Bang, goes the door. Um, there's kind of like this feeling of them not waking up anyway, you know? You're very welcome, Lily. But there seems to be abundance. Like, this person does want to move in and create a home with you. But at the moment, because there's just so much of their life that they're procrastinating on, it's just too much, you know? Thank you, Mahini. Sea Saint says general for Friday, and should I sign a lease to move into LV's apartment? Okay, so I feel like with the Empress in reverse, you need more creative options on Friday. So do take time to actually write down all the things. You're very welcome, Mahini. All the things that you need to kind of creatively come up with. This is important to be more in a creative mindset for Friday. Should you sign a lease? There's kind of like this feeling of that this person's not a bad person. So I would say sign the lease. Do you kind of see the fine print? Because there seems to be like something that you might need to negotiate, or you need to kind of understand before signing this. Because if you just sign it straight away, then there's going to be this clause in it that's important for you to know and negotiate. Okay? Real Love says, what is this new opportunity internship with Blake going to bring to my career? Will it give, how will be the experience? He just hired me. Okay. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Okay, so you'll be doing quite a lot of grunt work. So do realize that this is not going to be glamorous. It's going to be a lot of like printing copies and like doing things like that. So don't feel like, oh my god, I should be above this. Page of Wands, there's kind of a feeling of stepping up and taking a lot more initiative. And like honestly, I think that they will appreciate if you ask them like, okay, like use your intuition and your yeah, like initiative and drive and just see like what they want. Like instead of just like being the next step, like, oh yeah, print so and so copies, you're like, do I like how do I print them back to back so I can make it easier for you guys? They're gonna love you. You have a very trippy personality. You get along with a lot of people, so I think that they're really going to appreciate you being around, and I think a lot of people will find you very, very cute, you know. So that's what's coming up, not in the love sense, but in the, oh, we have an intern, you know, kind of feeling. Hello, Momo. SK says, Enrica's feelings for me. So the love is coming up strong. However, this Queen of Swords. So they are getting a lot of mixed messages from friends. So they do love you, but their friends are kind of changing their mind or forcing them into a situation that they're not coming towards you. This is frustrating for them because they are angry about this. They're angry about not being able to contact you or be around you. So that's what's coming up very strongly. Macy says, "Hey Cass, how are you? I'm going good. Will I find love this month or in 2023?" You're very welcome. Okay, so honestly, there's someone that's like pick me, pick me. So it's like more like a pick me boy than a pick me girl, but this could be someone that has been on the sidelines for so long, that you really haven't developed a relationship with. I don't think that they aren't a good person to be with. They're just showing a certain amount of signs of weakness. So, it's kind of hard. Let me find another like clarification. Oh yeah. So when they do almost like they would be if they move into a relationship with you, they'd be always like, it's my fault, isn't it? So it might be that this person might be an ex of yours. Instead of coming in for you, is already ex. So do you realize if this is like, oh my god, she's right, it's my ex coming back. If you don't want to go through this again, you have to realize that you might be attracting in someone that's kind of weak, someone that kind of blames you for their emotions. Um, and yeah, to see red flags. Like honestly, step away from this kind of guy. Like you might be like watching K-pop and you like that kind of guy type, but this one's just not. These types are not for you. You need a little bit more of a stronger person. And I think as soon as you step away from this type, you know, you step away from this type, you'll start realizing that you have been going to this person because he reminds you of something that's safe. So like you might be quite a dominating person, and so therefore when you meet someone that is dominating, you're like, oh, we're not going to be compatible together. Versus, okay, we both need to work on ourselves. Okay, there you go. Fatine says Omar's current feelings and intentions towards me. So there is a feeling of this person dealing with their own circumstances. So they are growing themselves and working a lot on the stresses of their life. But because they've been stressed out and because they've been overwhelmed, they're thinking about you a lot. They're constantly thinking about coming back to you. There's kind of like this feeling of like letting themselves get into this temptation. So that's one thing that I would say to that. Uh, Enchantress, will love come in this year? Yeah, watch the red flags. Enchantress, there's also a feeling that you are not getting the right attention. There's kind of like this feeling that you're probably seeking out like the way that you're dating, you're bringing in people that are not particularly well rounded. And that's kind of problematic. There's a thing of focusing on the present, focusing on the empty bowl in front of you instead of like focusing on the future and focusing on like how do I get from where I am to the future. So I'd be a little bit more discerning about who you're coming in, The best thing for you, Enchantress, would be at the moment to write like 100 things down, like 100 attributes, 100 like the traits, attributes, what you want your partner to be like do you want them to play a guitar. This will be important because then you'll start kind of going, well, this person's not the right person, this person's not the right person, you know. And that will cut through the crowd of the people right in front of you that aren't particularly good, you know. Uh, Isha, the spiritual boss, says, what's to come for me and my boyfriend, Daryl? Daryl. Haven't had a Daryl in a while. It's a very strange name, Daryl. Ace of Pentacles, there is a financial offer coming in for your boyfriend. That he's going to be happily snapping up there. That's important. There seems to be like some traveling done by both of you this year, like exploration. This could be just that you take a small trip together, take lots of photos, have a great time. And then just carry on. So it seems like it's not a um big thing this year. Like there's kind of like small things that come in for you instead of big things, okay? Namarata says general reading, please. Of course. Okay. Okay, so you might be asking the universe. You're very welcome, Isha. You might be asking the universe the wrong way. So the universe, if you're asking for something specific, like universe make me rich, universe make me famous, universe make me beautiful, you aren't using yourself. So the universe is like sitting there going, the answer is inside you. So it's like showing you that you are a very creative problem solver, and it's telling you to use your problem solving. This is important. Like you're not using that as much as so you're asking the universe, and then there's kind of like this feeling of not, not kind of creatively solving it, so therefore things will come in for you. It's kind of like this outside perspective. It's like I want it, I want it, I want it, until it doesn't happen, and then you're like, I give up. That's important for you. You're very welcome, Empress. There's a feeling of like if you're single, there's someone coming in for you. I do feel like it's this month. There could be a delay on that, but it feels like it's very close. If you're together with your partner right now, it's like this yin and yang happiness energy. So, with the Nine of Cups, it is the emotional happiness of a relationship. It can be a marriage, but it's usually not a financial commitment. It's more like the happiness, having kids, having like this really loving energy, you know? Kevin says, will I be able to get a good placement if I change my campus? Yes, but it might be harder. So do realize that, yeah, you'll get a good placement, but it's going to be harder to prove that you should transition, okay? Aldonia says, hey again, will my auntie leave me alone? She's been giving me anxiety. Oh, thank you, Nitu. What's your question? Giving me anxiety. She doesn't want to be happy. You think? It's hard because you both are very, very different people. Like if I was telling you how different you are, it's very, very different. You're very, very young. Your auntie sees you as very young, very reckless. And she tries to the problem is she tries to cut you down to size to make you Aldonia, to see you like I don't know how it is. It's like tough love. But I don't think that you need it. I think that you have a good sense of yourself, and you're also very consistent. So I don't feel like any of the things that you're trying to reach out and explore right now are dangerous. But she's from a different era or different kind of, yeah, I feel like it's a different era. And so her mind, when you're doing something, strays to it's dangerous. You know, it's dangerous. You shouldn't do this. Okay? Need to, what was your question? Let me double check. Will my husband reconcile? Thank you, Nitu, for the super chat. You are very welcome. The only times that I do free readings is on the stream, but I do appreciate all your donations. Thank you. So, will your husband? It takes time. It will take time and energy. I think that you will, based on these cards. So the cards are saying don't focus right in front of you because you're feeling like there's an empty dish in front of you. Work towards the future. Hermit. Now, you've been withdrawing yourself from society, you've been withdrawing yourself from people around you because you don't want them to comment about your husband or, the separation. You should spend more time outside because this is going to bring your husband back faster than you would realize. Is the whole idea that you're transitioning, you're moving on. Even if you don't like date or you see other people, it's more like the perspective of wait, I was supposed to be important to this person. Why are they just, like spending time with family? Why are they laughing, why are they having a good time? That can be very important. You're biting off more than you can chew right now, and it might be transition back into yourself, kind of transition back to yourself and kind of harness your energy of being yourself. Okay? So, how long is this going to take? Is it next year? Yeah, okay. So, it's next year. When? Okay, so it's going up here. Right, 10, 12? No. 10th month. 10th month next year. So do things by yourself. If you've got to wait a whole like 2 years for this person to come back to you, do things for yourself, okay? Super High says, when will I get a new job? You should trust the universe that you're guided where you need to go on this Super High. There's also a feeling of relaxing, allowing your network to find out. So ask your friends for advice on what jobs are around, what jobs you should apply for, because that's important. Okay? LSED says current feelings of O for me. What did he feel when he saw me yesterday? Why did he seem sad? I think that's the thing. Um. Okay, so LSED, why this person felt sad was that they um seem to devote a lot of time towards you, a lot of their passion towards you, but there's a feeling of them just dealing with your anger, dealing with your um frustrations, you know. So this person's just like sad because they see you struggle so much with the small things, and you don't seem to see the bigger picture like they do. So there's kind of like this feeling of like difference, like, oh, I don't think that this person would change, you know. Alexis, thank you for the donation there. What's your question, Alexis? Thank you so much. Hi, welcome in. His feelings, there was just sadness. There's no, his feelings for you, he's very devoted to you, or very centered on top of you, you know, that very strong thing there. Alexis, what was your question? Oh, okay, I got it. Alexis Honeybun, is UL in love with me or UL hates me? I never really understood what is UL's feelings for you. He's very focused on you. However, there's kind of this feeling of disconnect. So even though he wants to stay around for you, there's kind of like this feeling of like removing the friendship part of your relationship. So this person, even though they're very focused on you, they don't want to be friends. So, you know, and there's a feeling of trying to fix problems in their life that have come through quite badly. And this might be that you're trying to help them and they don't want to have the help. They don't want the kind of pity. And that's maybe why, like, when I said they don't want friends, they just don't want the help. The death card is a transition, and it could be that they're slowly getting to a point that they can deal with all of this themselves, and it won't be disconcerting. It will actually fix, you know. They're going to be able to fix this. And this is why they really haven't been in contact with you, even though they're very focused on you. Okay. Shreya says, my question is, will my person propose to me? And is there anyone stopping him? um, so the okay, so there's a couple of things that are um like him not really wanting to propose, and the biggest thing is like he wants to feel like he's got more options out there. There's no one like forcing him not to propose. It's just like this feeling of like, I want to know that there's options, you know, like this kind of feeling of like, what if this happens, then I've got these options. The devil in reverse and full. So there is this addiction to being thinking about himself first. There's like, okay, if I get married, then I will have to think about another person. And the tower moment, it was kind of like a feeling that this relationship fell down because he's not ready to commit. And I do feel like you're built, like, what was it? I was one day I was listening to, who's his name? Matthew Hussey, he's like a kind of relationship coach. And he was saying that a lot of like women are building the castle themselves. So like the guy is not putting in the work, but the woman is to building like the connection. And I was thinking that's interesting because that's coming off for you is like this feeling like you're the one building the relationship, not them. Okay? Susie says, how does my Libra feel in distance, no contact? How does your Libra feel in distance, no contacts? Okay. This person's boy, they're having a hard time. The Hermit in reverse, they are very scared of other people, and there's a feeling of biting off more than they can chew. So they're really retreated into their self. Like there's kind of like this feeling of protection, not really wanting to be around other people, not really. You're very welcome, Shreya. Not really wanting to contact people, and there's the feeling of just focusing on the next thing. So they're kind of in a paranoid mind state. Oh, thank you. Thank you. They're in a paranoid mind state right now, and they really don't want to be around other people. Give me 1 second, guys. I have food. So we might have a quick break. So you can talk to me, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing readings until I finish my meal. Because food came up. Thank you, Shan. Thank you. Yeah, it's very good. These are the perks of having, it's like chicken, peppers, zucchini, with probably soy sauce and some chili, some boiled potatoes, some beans, some lettuce instead of rice. So I think it's got chili and I think it's got soy sauce in it. Mmm. You're very welcome, Susie. The rice is the lettuce is because I probably my blood sugar spikes on rice, so I'm sorry if I'm making anybody hungry. So I was finding out the other day, if you have like vinegar and rice, that your body digests it slower. I was like, wow, okay. No wonder all like these people like that normally eat rice, they're just like put vinegar, soy sauce on it. I'm like, okay. Thank you. Sorry, guys, I'm eating on stream. It feels very unprofessional. I'm sure the cats don't mind. What did everyone eat today? Samana, take a break. We'll be answering questions after this, but salad? Any particular salad? Samana had soup. What soup? Hello, Palak. Scrambled egg with bread. That sounds awesome. I will learn to eat nutritious food from you, like now. One of the books that I was reading was Obesity Code, which was interesting. Mm. So Samia and Samana had chicken soup. Any particular vegetables? A spicy chicken and salad. Mm-hmm. Those poor chickens. Says Pete eating chicken. Broccoli? Never had that in soup. Oh, salad. Broccoli, carrot, peas. Okay. My mom put leftover vegetables in the soup. Um, the other half puts like mooli in soup. And before, like, it's like, I'm gonna put mooli in there. I'm like, what's mooli? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so mooli's like a radish, but obviously as a like a daikon radish, I guess. That's what you could call it. Hello, Catherine. Welcome in. We're taking a food break. We have mooli. Have you tried mooli curry with shrimp? No, I haven't had a mooli curry. That would be interesting. Maybe I should ask. Hmm. One one weird thing is like that I haven't had. Well, I've had it, but I'm not known what it's called. Is like lotus root, which I really like, and water chestnut. Though I'm not a fussy eater. hello, Felicia. Molly is like a white carrot. I would have called it like a daikon radish. Like, it's huge. Mm. But the first time he said it, I was like, what are you talking about? Mm. And of course, Catherine, I don't think anyone's just waiting for me to eat. And they're like, you're eating so sexy. Eat fast. Mm. But yeah. I have to tell you a story. So, my partner and I go into obviously the Asian supermarket, and he's like looks in the fridge, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they have dog togs in there." I'm like, "What?" I was like, I'm sure I've like misheard that, and I was like, "Okay, what is it?" Dog tongues. And we'll get home, and it's like, oh yeah, so he's really excited about this. And I was like, I don't think I can do this. And I was like, oh, I don't think that I can. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you said dog tongues. And they're duck tongues, yeah. Yes. I mean, they were duck tongues. I was like, oh my god. Thank you, Tandem. Uh, I was dead. I was laughing so hard. Felicia, as soon as I finish this plate, we'll be back, darling. We'll be back to reading. Hmm. Cassandra, eat faster. Mhm. Hmm. We'll be finished dinner soon, so don't worry, guys. Look on the bright side, guys. There's only 11 of you guys. Because no one else wanted to see me eat. So, less competition. Will be... Let me double check CS to let you know. So, it will be the 21st and the 28th. So, next to members' readings. You should be doing a victory dance, chat. Like, yeah! I think 3 more spoonfuls and we're finished, guys. It was great, Samia. I had clients that I needed to do some work for, which was good. And naturally connected with people that I needed to do. So, take your time. Thank you. Yeah. So, a lot of times with my job, with doing tarot, you get a lot of regulars. So, mm, it is very nice. Unfortunately, I'm very sloppy with my lettuce, and there's no knife. So, I'm glad I've got a napkin nearby. Yeah. Give me 1 second and I will put that in chat for you. I was wondering why you had said hi yet. There you go. That should be the right one. There's 2 C's, so that sometimes will confuse people. One more, guys, and then I'm going downstairs and I'll return this plate to the kitchen because I'm sure the cats don't want to, like, jump into my plate. Here you go, guys, eat. It doesn't have soy sauce, it's got vinegar and probably some olive oil. Let me return this to the kitchen and then I'll come back. Okay, guys? Healthy food. That's all what you need in life other than love. Oh! Nearly flatlined the keyboard. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm here, you know. Libra says, what do you see me coming in for me and Raymond in February? Thank you guys for waiting. I'm sorry about that. So there is kind of a celebration coming in for you and Raymond in February. This could be a proposal, but it's kind of like this feeling that there's more than one celebration coming in. Focus on not the start of the month, but the end of the month. And Page of Pentacles. There's kind of some financial thing that's involved this month that's important, okay, for you. So take time to learn about your finances. Samana says, which month can I expect contact from Harris? Next actions towards me. Ooh, there's 2 people coming in for you. It's not just one. This must be... this is coming through as your father figure more than another person coming in for you. And there's kind of like this block or barrier between who you want and like this kind of father figure standing between you and them, which is kind of funny that I'm reading that. You're very compatible, but it's more like this person wants to protect you and make sure you're not going to get hurt because he used to be very similar to this person when he was younger. When is this person coming in for you? Two weeks. Is that 2 weeks? Yeah, so 2 weeks from now. Is this person coming in? Nala says, why is Gemini ignoring me? Is it because he has some spell? His ex used to do some spells on him often in the past. Is she still doing it to tear us apart? Yeah, there's some kind of like underlying spell here. I usually say no because I do believe like most of the time the things are not the same as people think. But yeah, I would definitely feel like she's meddling with this. However, he's going to break free of this pretty soon. So even though she has done the spell work, it's not going to matter. The death card means that he's going to transition over and her control on him is going to be no more. Crazy Girl says, what will be the reaction of Sabai when he knows my new role as researcher? Excitement. Excitement for you. There's kind of a feeling of excitement and wondering how you're going to spend the new money. Thank you, Jean. Thank you. To spend the new money and he wants you to save and look after your stuff. The moon in upright means that he thinks that you're going to have a lot more new friends, a lot of new. Yeah. I could see it, Elkie. Lots of new friends, and you'll be less in contact with him. You know. What about me? Will he come closer to me? Will he come closer to you? Yes. Straight away. It's a yes. You got the right one. Sarah says, do you see when me and the Libra will communicate or reconcile again? I feel a strong connection with him. I miss him. You're very welcome, Nala. Okay. So the feeling is that you might not get to contact him again. Because the Empress in reverse, this person doesn't want a family with you. This is very strong. The World in reverse is like, look after yourself first. This is important. And you need to focus not on the empty bowl in front of you, but focus on the future. So the cards are saying, focus on yourself, focus on the future for you. Okay? Benita says, hi, Gurpreet's current feelings, intentions towards me. Hello, Ciara. No, thank you. You're very welcome, Ciara. So this was Benita's, Gurpreet's current feelings and intentions towards you. This is interesting. This person doesn't know. He wants the attention. He wants like a lot of attention, but as soon as he wants it, he doesn't want it anymore from you. So it's kind of like this kind of take. Okay, I don't want to reciprocate. So there's kind of like that stepping away. With the Temperance in reverse, it's more like how can I explain that? There's an overflow, you know, there's an overflow of kind of like his life. So there's kind of like this feeling of that he needs to be more in control. Because if he keeps on doing this, and this is not just the only person he does, that would happen, okay? Dragging out the frame says, question 1, how would my Libra feel about me right now? Well, that card went. Where do you go? That's the problem. So firstly, it's only good news. They're very happy about you, very excited about you. There's kind of like this feeling of good news or chasing you. But they want a home with you, but they don't want kids yet. So it's kind of like this feeling. I know. The cats sometimes escape. They just go. I'm like, come back, you. So there's kind of like this feeling of wanting a home but not wanting kids yet. And this could be just that they're not ready for that. Felicia. Felicia. Oh my god. I would get the right names. Will me and my husband get back on the same page or continue to see things from very different perspectives? We've been at odds lately and I feel that we're drifting away. The short answer to this is yes. You guys will reconcile your differences. However, the arguments are being about no worries dragging out of frame. It's kind of like there's a mess involved, and as soon as this mess is tidied up in your life, then it will go back to normal. But you're a very passionate person, so it's very hard for you guys to see even kill because they're very different from you. They take things less, like, put things off a lot more than you, and that can be very strong, you know. SSK says, how will be my February month? My husband is going. Hello, Danny. My husband's going training for 1 month. Will I be able to handle the kids and home? You won't, unfortunately, be able to handle all the kids by yourself. It might be a very untidy house. That's okay. It doesn't need to be all tidy. Instead of being very focused on the present and getting very frustrated, you should look at the future and go, okay, I could do something. There's a life choice coming in for you while your husband's away that you will need to decide on now, because that's important for you to decide. So when this life choice comes up, you just have to choose, because it's not going to be that big of a deal. If you leave it, it might become a little bit more of a problem for you. CS says, any urgent messages from healing from my guides? I have not been feeling well. That kind of came out, but it kind of didn't. Okay. So you should go with the flow. Start relaxing a little bit more. The other thing that I would definitely feel is that anything that you're not feeling very well with is in your eyes. Like, if you go to a doctor, they'll be pretty, if they check your eyes, they'll go, okay, there's something there. Not that your eyes are the problem, it's more that your eyes will be a predictor of your health in general. So it's something that they can see in your eyes. But there is kind of like this feeling of that you have been very persistent lately, and you have to be more relaxed, and you have to like slow down a little bit more, because that's kind of coming up, that you're overriding yourself a lot. Hello, Aria, how are you? Page of Wands, you should seek new opportunity when it comes in. So it might be that you're doing quite a lot of things but draining yourself because it's just becoming too much, okay? Aria says, new subscriber, welcome. My relationship with my guy best friend in the future, because sometimes he talks like a stranger, sometimes more than friends. Oh my lord. The thing is that there's kind of like this fear translated into the past. He has a lot of control over you though. But I do feel like push comes to shove, he doesn't like you as much as you think he does. Hello, Sebia. How are you? So yeah, I would say that this person has a little bit more, um, yeah, they know how to manipulate people. That's what's coming up. So be a little bit aware that they hide a lot of their feelings and they try and manipulate. Not that they want to manipulate people, but it could be very underneath that they sit there and go, this is what I want, so I'm going to get it. Sarah says, will I score 50 or above in EV exam? No, I think you're not focused. Maybe you're focused too much on this, actually. So you should relax and allow things to naturally come through. Samia, I actually have drained my water bottle, so if I get too much, um, if I get too parched, I will drink some water. But yeah, it's kind of a hard thing because you're focused too much on this and your brain is going to go into a panic in the test. So you've got to kind of really kind of not worry so much, okay? Manuel says a beauty salon business will work for me, personal life ahead. Okay, so there is a death card, so therefore the cycles that have been tied to you for a long time is going to change and you're going to transition over. Okay, so it's not so bad. There's kind of like this feeling with your personal life that you're going to be bringing in like a twin flame to you if you're single. If you're connected with your partner, it is a twin flame connection, and there's a lot of like happiness, maybe future kids. There's like a lot of happiness coming through your relationship. This could be in the future, so this will happen this year. Wheel of Fortune. You said you wanted a salon, but the Wheel of Fortune means trust the universe. Trust the universe to know where you're guided to go, you know? Instead of like going, okay, I want this one specifically, you should actually work on like getting carried to where you're gonna go. So maybe contact people around, you know? So, what should I do if my guy best friend is manipulating me? You should be watching them very carefully because that's quite dangerous if you're not noticing that. Runava says, hello, I hope you're well. My question is, will I reconcile with the Capricorn? I'm no longer communicating. I think that that would be good for you because there seems to be this imagination pursuing something. So I definitely feel like the answer is yes to this. You have changed and you have grown. So any good thing that's coming in for you, Runiva, in that relationship, you get to hold and keep, you know. So there you go. Sebahat says, see, Seba says, why am I such a jerk and not a magnet? I've even attracted narcissistic people. How can I change it? You get stuck on like the physical qualities and physical traits of some people. Like they draw you in by that physical qualities that they have without you realizing that that kind of is the first thing you go for. So I do feel like the age-old saying, like, don't judge a book by its cover, is probably what would come in for you. And there's a feeling of like there's more options out there. So explore people without getting too caught up in one person. Take your time to know someone before you actually let them in fully. With this death card, I think you're already past this transition. So you've kind of let that go. You kind of realized what you're doing, and I think that this transition is on your move. So your subconscious is already in that kind of jerk shield moment. So I don't think that you have to worry about it as much now, you know. Okay, Cosette says, I feel like I'm making a rash decision and move I feel like making a rash decision and move somewhere in France or even Portugal at the end of the month. I'm tired. I can tell why you're tired. Though saying that, I don't. With these rash decisions, I feel like your problems are going to follow you to this place. I think that you want it to be different, but I do feel like the problems that you're under, you'll face no matter if you move. So, yeah, I don't feel like you're ready for this move. I do feel like you're going to be ready in the future. Just at the moment, you need to address the problems that you're running away from, you know? Pooja says, hello, what does Bizweight feel for our connection? They're mentally having a hard time trying to struggle with this connection. It could be that they are very focused on this connection and this is causing them a little bit more anxiety. However, they do want to have a beautiful home with you, and they might want to share that with someone, which is you. Um, yeah, it seems like they really are willing to commit for this. A question? You're very welcome. Shania says, does Ollie love me? His next actions towards me, do you think I love him too? Oh, that's funny. So does Ollie love you? Ollie seems to feel like he loves you quite a lot. But there's kind of like this feeling of like this person just relaxing and not manifesting a future. So it's kind of like this person has got to a certain point in their life and got stuck. So even though they love you, they're just like, you know, putting it off. He doesn't think you love him as much as he does because the heartbreak card's up here. So, that's a no, you know. Even like probably like, do you love him? Is like no, you know. Jenna says, I have a general, please? Thanks, Jay. Okay. So general, there is new options opening up for yourself in February. Those saying that focus more on the creative solutions. If there's nothing like creative coming to mind, then it might be time to just put a practical plan in place instead of waiting for the motivation, waiting for your creativity to step in, you know? Um, and the Page of Wands is like, there's new things to be explored. There's new adventures to come in for you, but you need to step up. You can't think you're too small for this. Now, you need to get into that kind of get up and go, you know? Amalord says, I going to be supervised at work in March and May. Her name is Amanda. Will I like the final outcome? Would she like my work? You might push yourself too hard, so I do feel like you're going to be supervised. However, I do feel like the person that you're asking for is like going to be very impressed with your work. It's not like they're like, oh no, like this is a thing, there's a problem. I think that smell detect, I've got to turn that off. It's really annoying. Um, the struggle is that you're going to get very anxious and you might start hiding away from her, but she's going to like that, you know? MN Real Estate Properties, what's the feelings of Omar has had for me? Does he love me or just a friendly relationship? I feel like this person wants a relationship with you. Queen of Pentacles, they see your tenacity, they see your drive, they see you succeeding in life. But you can also be very insecure. So I do feel like you're going to be finding it very hard for you to try and accept this relationship. Munizia says, any good stuff coming for me in February and March. Focus on your own little world and keep on going. Don't focus on chasing the money. It seems like more like showing gratitude, showing like appreciation for your life is going to be very strong this month. And with this gratitude, then you see little things being very, very good things, but it's kind of a hard thing for you. Jean says, what are Virgo's current feelings and intentions towards me? So they have picked you, although they're checking out the other options. It's like they come back to you all the time. It's like, how can I explain it? You walk into like a candy shop or a cake shop and you're like, I'm going to choose something else this time. And they kind of come back to you. So they're like, oh yeah, like I'm going to choose something different this time. And they come back to their favorite, which is you. The Justice in reverse, they keep beating themselves up for something. I think that that's a very strong predictor of them feeling very worried about their life. But it's kind of like they're always making it harder for themselves because they're not realizing that on the outside everything's fine, on the inside it's not great, you know? Love Libra says, what is his intentions in distance? He is from another country, no contact right now. Yeah, so honestly, he's hiding away from you. There's kind of like this feeling of hiding. So the cards are saying work on your own world first. Focus on, you're very welcome, Jean. Focus on what you can do right now instead of like him, because there seems to be this feeling of being scared or hiding away from you. And this can be just because, hello, hacked account. Feeling frustrated, you know, like feeling that there's not enough kind of relationship to go on here. So you might have to find someone closer to home because there seems to be this feeling of like, you know. Angelina says, will T ever be together with me? I have hope. Will T ever be with you? From this, I would say no. I don't even see this person on the cards. So at the moment, because you're very weak to this person, so they're kind of like you have that weakness. You are kind of, how can I explain it without being too, you know, you are kind of not looking after your life, allowing things to lax. And there's kind of like a feeling like the case where like you should work on the things that you can't control right now and do it very slowly. So I don't see this person in the cards for you at all. So they probably have run a well, disappeared, you know. not disappeared, like gone, but sorry, Angelina. I'm sorry. The cards are trying to give you a lovely message there, like keep working, keep persisting, but your name is Mahini. Welcome in, Mahini. I want to know the future of my relationship with my boyfriend C. Will it be lovely? There's a life choice here that you need to make because this is very strong that you need to make the decision for yourself, Mohini. The Fool in reverse is like you're protected. Just go with the flow. The universe has your back. This doesn't mean that everything will be sunshine and roses, but most of the time it doesn't need to matter. Okay? So just go with the flow. Page of Wands, there's kind of like this adventure coming to you. I think this is to both of you actually. It's a couple's decision. So I do feel like you guys step up. This could actually be traveling or creating something new together, but there's kind of this strong, passionate ability to create something together, even if it's memories, okay? Lost One says, how does Elaine feel about me? What does he think I feel about him? Oh my. Okay, so Alan feels Lost One. You're very welcome, Mahini. Um, Alan feels like you're constantly angry that he can't do anything right. So it's kind of like a feeling of like um so it's kind of like a frustration, So there's kind of like this feeling of like um yeah, putting his foot in his mouth or something like that. You're very smart, so sometimes you can be quite angry. Um, what does he think you feel for him? Like really like a happiness, like refreshment. So there's kind of like this feeling of love, even though you don't show it that often. There's also a feeling that this person knows that you want to get married. So it's kind of like this feeling of like they only want to marry me sometimes. It's kind of very strong. It's like, oh, they only want to marry me. That's why they're picking fights. So sometimes like you've got to realize that sometimes people are in that certain time frame where if you ask them right now, if you ask them like this particular time, they're thinking about what's happened this today or this week. Tantam says there was some thread with knots in my mom's briefcase. I opened all the knots. What was it and what happened when I opened the knots? Okay, so this was kind of like a little spell. I think this was for a little bit more money. So that's what I would say, Tandem. Don't panic, don't don't get stressed about it. It's just like a way of her kind of affirming and being able to sit there and go, I want to make this amount of money. So it didn't matter because it's not going to backfire on you. It's just that it won't work anymore. And the full card, you're protected by the universe, so don't worry. Um, so yeah, it was kind of like if you look up not magic, I think she was doing that even though she probably doesn't practice magic. It might have just been something that she could focus her mind on it. So for you, I don't think the spell was for you. I think it was for your mom. So it wouldn't have mattered that you've untied it. Who did it? I think your mom. Shan says, will I receive my money? I'm waiting for my employer this month. Yes, you will. Yeah. And I don't think that you have to go back and like ask them like what's going on or something like that. You will get it. And I think you get a little bit more payment because you've been waiting for so long. Yajni says, hello, lovely. How are you? Do you see any contact with my ex, Kunal? Um, anytime soon. There's good news coming in for you, but I don't see like you getting in contact with your ex anytime soon. This is pretty much no. And Page of Wands, there kind of feels like a travel adventure, good news coming to you and taking a new adventure. Thebia, thank you for the donation. What is F the Pisces karma for mistreating me? Does he regret it or the universe is somehow showing him that? We are the problem of our own devices. So yeah, there is some karma. It's not showing on the outside though. So if you wanted something to happen to him physically, it's not going to happen to him like that. It's more like imagination and anxiety. So this can be like high performance anxiety or just anxious in general. And I think this is coming on because this person has the one thing that was coming to mind is that they haven't told the truth for a long time, but it's not. I think it's been that they haven't told the truth to themselves in a long time. So their body is reacting to a lot of things. Because the weirdest thing is our mind doesn't know what's true or not. So our body can react to what the mind is displaying. Like if I say, okay, there's a tiger over there, your mind's going to be like, oh, that's a tiger. And every time it feels like a certain acceleration of a heart rate, we go back to that tiger moment. And that's what they are in. So they are getting some kind of karma, but I think they brought it on themselves, which is normally what happens is like you sit there and go, okay, like people should have that karma applied because they've been mean to me. But usually what happens is like, and this is the funniest thing, is that when you do a kind deed to someone, it goes around until it comes back to you. Somehow, like, reciprocation helps. But some people in life, because they have, like, when they're mean to people, they're mean to a lot of people, and it just compounds. And they get themselves in trouble. They get themselves stuck in life because no one wants to help them out. They're just not going to be liked enough for people to help them out. Okay? Divine Soul says, "I know Owen was for from you know Owen for 10 years now. Was he in love with me before me? What is his blockage is in my relationship? He tends to not show his real self. That's one thing, Divine Soul. Um, is that he doesn't show his true self to anybody. He tends to save up his feelings and his emotions. That's underlying current here. Like that's one of the things is he needs to open up and share with someone. But the blockages are clearing because the death card, you know. So that's the interesting thing that I would say is the blockages are clearing up for you. Um, he was in love with you before he kind of knew well, not knew you, but like before you guys really were a relationship. And it seemed like he did choose you out of a lot of other women or people that he could have been interested in. There was kind of like a feeling of attraction there, you know. Rishika says, "What are S's current feelings for me?" Oh my lord. There's imagination here. Overwhelming imagination. Oh my god. Um, they want to have this kind of relationship with each other, like where you guys move in. This could be marriage, depending on where you live in the world. Um, but there's kind of like this feeling of bringing in a home. Oh, okay. So his underlying thing is that he mentally sabotages himself, and that's where the chaos comes from. So when things go very good for him, he starts overthinking, and that becomes more and more chaotic. If he stops this, I'm very sure that it would become easier for him to really connect with you, okay? But at the moment, it looks very good other than this overthinking, you know? So imagination is lust. This is like the mind thinking, imagining this person. So that's important, but because like things are going so well, this person is like having a hard time trying to judge what they want. Death cards are divine soul, the end of a cycle. So we have certain cycles in our life. Like why the death card seems to be the biggest problem for most people. Let me see if I can find it. Um, is that we think of the last cycle that we go through. So most times people think like you start at this start and then you just die, you know? um, and it doesn't work like that. Every single time you go through another cycle, you transition into a new part of your life. And so, therefore, we constantly get reborn and things happen, you know? Is it an end? It can be considered an end, but that doesn't mean because every single one of us goes through separate cycles. So for me, the way that I'm reading it is that the things that the blockages between you and Erwin are disappearing, dissolving. And that's a good idea because when you ask about blockages, when you have a death card, it means the way is clear again. Sihaba says, should I friend zone Zad? Why? Because you have a better frame of mind if you do that. Because he doesn't understand that you. Yeah. There's kind of like this kind of feeling that it would be better for your um mental mood. Like there's more things coming in. Because he's never gonna decide anything. So there's kind of like this feeling of not choosing the life choices that you want him to make. And there's a feeling that you're very unsatisfied right now when you should be looking at the future and you should be actually focusing on what you want in the future instead of like focusing on now. There you go. I hope that helped. So, yes. Hello, Aves. Hi, ma'am. says spiritual. What is his feelings towards me? We're in celebrate. What did I say? Celebration. Separation. Oh my god, spiritual. Well, you know. Right. This person is imagining thinking about you, imagining you in general. But there's a feeling of not wanting this connection or trying to penalize themselves for this connection. There's a feeling of stepping away and going, I don't really want this. The Empress in reverse, they don't want to share family or have kids with you. So this is important because there's kind of like this feeling of being attracted to you, but if they don't seem to be focused on raising a family with you, there can be that block of like, I don't really want a committed relationship. That's hard. Spiritual. So there you go. Shreya says, is Pawan Kumar single? Will he marry me? He doesn't want to marry you. It could be that he is single, but there's kind of a feeling that he would want to control your life and not actually look after you. So there's kind of like this feeling of you do it this specific way that I've asked you because the that you're amazing. Like honestly, you're amazing. But because you're going to be earning quite a lot of money and there'll be this kind of crushing down of your spirit. Like, hey, like I want you to do that certain thing. Okay? So there you go. Sudeshni. Let me get your name right. Sudeshni. Sudeshni? I think I've got it right. Sudeshni? Yes, I think that's right. When is love coming towards me? Thank you. Okay. Can I ask you whether you're feminine or masculine? Because this is going to change the reading for you. So that's one thing that I would say. So there is a feeling of that you are kind of wanting other people's attention, like in the wrong way. You're kind of like wanting this attention in the wrong way without being assertive, without being yeah, like honestly, it might be that I usually say this is a card of attention seeking. And it's kind of like a hard thing that I would say to you is like the attention seeking is when we're kids, whatever like how we got attention from our parents is usually how we try to get attention from other people. Um, and that can be very hard. Is that's kind of like coming up is you might have to learn a different way to get people's attention. King of Cups. So if you're masculine, it does mean that you're draining people's energies. You're very emotionally, yeah, draining their energy. And it could just be the attention seeking. If you are female, it means that you're attracted to a guy that tends to place his emotions importance than you know? So it's kind of a hard thing that I would say to you is like you need to figure out how you're going to deal with this because it does stem back to childhood. And usually this is the important thing, is to kind of realize how the things that you got taught when you were a child, how that's affected you quite a lot, because this is affecting your love life. The Magician, there is like, it's opening up. I think that if you work on this, then you bring in attraction. So people will start imagining being with you, because cups have this um they can be quite attractive, but they have like this kind of yin energy to them. So the like, if cups are balanced, they can be great listeners, they can be great oh, she is female? Okay. So yeah, so honestly, I maybe you have focused. Minsia, thank you. I was like, what? So, like, honestly, this can be that you are attracted to this cups because you need to validate other people's feelings. So, if you allow them to look after you, like cared for you in a nicer way without draining you, um, yeah. But it seems like at the moment you need to figure out which parent you want to impress and how you used to get your attention from them. Okay? Hello, Andy. How are you? Hello, Risha. Channel says, what is his energy after separation? His parents rejected our marriage. Oh my god, you should have gone on elopement. Munizia. Oh my lord. Sorry. I'm gonna get there one day, Manesia. I'm going to get there. Unfortunately, it's going to just take me a while. Um, it's hard because it's a I. I don't usually pronounce a E sound when it's a I sound, unless I was New Zealander, and then I would definitely do that. You'd be like, "Oh my god, amazing." Okay, so going back to your answer, like, how does he feel? He feels pretty upset with his parents. Not gonna lie, he wants to disown them. There's kind of like this feeling of being at odds with his family. This full card, he's hoping that like life will go well, that he's going to continue on and like life will work out for him, but there's kind of like a feeling that's kind of a thing. Ace of Swords in reverse. At the moment, he feels like the sky is falling down. He's very feeling very hard done by, very cross, very upset. Um, I feel like he's just at wit's end. He's normally a very carefree guy, but this time it's too serious, you know. Thank you, Jean, for your help. Ruchi says, Adash thinking about me. Is there any chance of reconciliation again? What will happen in the near future? So, the cards say no. There is a heartbreak card, so I would say that I would generally say it's no. This person, Ruchi, is just like not in a state. They're too emotionally dependent on you, so there's kind of like this feeling of no. um but what's coming in for you this year is like a new opportunity. Like, how can I explain it? This is the card of celebration, this is the card of hope, spring. This can be a card of marriage, so you could get married this year, but it won't be to this person. It'll be someone else, you know? So that's important. That's the case. Yeah, so with this heartbreak card, I would say no to this connection here. Tate Wood says, what is something that needs to be what brought to your awareness right now? Focus on your own world first. Bring only knowledge of your awareness to your own mind. So there's kind of like this feeling of bringing awareness to your whole situation. Like focusing on your own thing and growing your own thing. So it could be like this year you spend time reading books, focusing on how to grow your own place in the world. The other thing that's coming in for you is prosperity and abundance, especially in your household. There's some good things coming in for you that are amazing and are very joyous, but it's more closer to home for you. So I do feel like it's a time of like focusing more on the smaller circle, like your small circle of friends, small circle of family, and yourself, and just not like blanket out the rest of the world. Um, and just work on that this year. Belle says, what are T's intentions with me? So there is a feeling of celebration. This could be marriage. There is a wish fulfillment card, but it is in reverse. So kind of grow your own self. So there's kind of a feeling of like working on something and growing it for yourself and something happening that's coming true. The one thing that I would say is like T's intentions are more fear in the past. There's kind of a fear that's holding him back from really stepping up into this new thing with you. And that's hard because that's a very, very hard thing to deal with, is just like letting go of that fear. And that could be why you guys are going to get married or getting engaged this year instead of like focusing on that. Charu says, how will a deposition, how will deep disposition of Shreyas Pandey future spouts his nature, physical features, and profession? So his nature is a very much like trying to get what he wants. So there's a little bit of struggling. He's not naturally someone that succeeds all the time. So there's kind of like this feeling of stubbornness until he gets it. This is going to cause you a little bit of arguments in your relationship until you realize that a lot of times you just have to not fight him on the same game. So let him be stubborn and kind of not get involved in that. Physical features. Well, it's interesting because this seemed to come up for the physical features. So his physical features are quite. It's going to be a little bit shorter. There's kind of like this feeling of kindness. There's kind of like stockiness. So he might have quite a lot of muscle that's coming through. So like a very stocky nature to him, more than like a slim build, And the Hierophant, he is advisor of some kind. I was thinking like a builder. The thing is that it's kind of like a builder or like a professional trainer, but it's like he labors all day. He does a physical job, you know. And I do feel like he works out quite a lot, even though he goes to work. I am very sure he's quite physically fit and goes to the gym as well. Tammy says, my name is Devika. Current feelings, energies of my husband, Maya, towards me. So there's a feeling of this person thinking that you're going to leave. So at the moment, they're trying to deal with, at the moment, yeah, they're feeling very paranoid, like you're going to leave them. I think this is triggered by the past, but it's because they're dealing with a lot of things right now. They're starting to really close you out, because they're scared of you leaving. So that can be hard. It's kind of a weird thing for them to do. Wheel of Fortune, trust the universe that you're guided wherever you want to go with this, but do know that he doesn't want to lose you. Mimi says, how are you? I am good. Please, Mimi Taurus, my question is about my future love. Thank you. Okay, so at the moment, the cards are saying that you're going through a period of heartbreak. This is going to reflect how you're dealing with things, Mimi. So do realize that that's the case, and you shouldn't be running after anybody while you're still finding yourself having a hard time. So allow your heart to heal first. There's also pursuing like chasing money right now, which you need to relax and not allow you yourself to chase money, because the money is going to run away from you. So just allow things to naturally come to you. One thing that's coming to mind is kind of creating your creativity, like allowing your creativity to come in. So this could be actually doing some dance classes, or kind of doing creative solutions for money to come back in for you. But the thing is that love and money has this creativity, you know. You did, Ariana, but that was a while ago. Did yours at the start of the thing. Shreya says, it's been a long time since I'm dating Paywan Kuma. We have no contact situation. Is he going to be my future spouse? He doesn't want to marry me. Will he marry me? Yeah, it seems like he will. Mostly because he'll run out of options, and you seem to be the one that he will end up with. Is this correct? So yes. When is this going to be? When? What year? So 3 years for you to get married, Shreya. Andy says, is H going to agree to help me financially? Is he a good match for me? Do we have a future together? You're very welcome. He can't help you financially, unfortunately. At the moment, he's going through struggles himself. So there's kind of like a fear that's translating here in the future. So he would like to help you, but it's kind of like this feeling of that he can't help you right now. I think he is a good match for you. You will have a good future together, but he needs to get to a point that he can actually bring in the money again. There's kind of like this feeling that the last 2 years hasn't been very kind on him for money. Lotus Rose says, question 1, what's coming towards me this month, please? So there seems to be more love coming in for you. This could be actually that you are in a relationship. If not, then there seems to be someone approaching you with love in the air. You have a period of not manifesting in anything. It could just be that you aren't really thinking about what you want next. And this is important because like goal setting or creating like a vision board will be very important for you this month. So I do suggest going and writing down at least 10 things that you want this year to have, or even a vision board, okay? And there's a feeling of like feeling very excluded from something, and it could just be that you accept this and you move on without being very upset about it. It could be actually your ex is like, and this whole situation, you just like move on and you leave that behind, okay? Andy, I'm confused because he spoke of coming to South Africa. He leaves abroad and booking a ticket for next month. That does not mean that he's got ambient money. That's one thing that I would say. Is like he doesn't have the extra money to help you. Denise Deshelle says, does Moses wish to have his oh my god. Does Moses wishes to have me back in his life romantically? Yes, he's hoping that that happens. However, he's not going to be working very hard on this. So do realize that he's just waiting for you to plop back in his lap. So he's quite lazy. That's one thing that I would say from this is the laziness aspect is coming through. Okay? Oveus says, how will be my next 3 months? Everything in my life is stuck. When will it end? Okay. Okay, so at the moment, why you've been so stuck right now is that it's kind of a hard thing for you to deal with a lot of things at the same time. Yeah, so honestly, the chariot in a reverse just means that you are not driving yourself in a particular thing. So it's not like physically stuck. It's more like things haven't like given you the opportunity to accelerate where you're going, like driving that particular way. The High Priestess in reverse, you're not manifesting in anything. You're actually quite stuck right now. So there's like a stuckness of that, and you're actually focusing on your comfort zone. You're not actually seeing outside yourself. So this is important because there's a lot of things to unpack. So if we stay safe, you're actually getting stuck in your safe zone. So therefore, you're not going to grow. The only way that an organism grows from a single cell to us and probably higher cells, we need stress. We need stress to grow. If we don't have that stress, if we don't have that thing, we don't grow. We don't succeed in life. If we are in our comfort zone, which is weird, we actually have a higher chance of dying earlier if we don't have any stress whatsoever. That's what happens. High Priestess in reverse. There's no goals, no plans put in place for you right now, and that's why you're feeling stuck. So, a vase, you need to put these things down now. Instead of in 3 months, you'll be in the same place. If you don't do anything about it right now, you're going to get stuck. And you're going to get stuck for the 3 months. Because without any kind of really working on it, working on goals, kind of getting out of your comfort zone and trying new things, you're not going to get anywhere closer to what you want. Okay? Christina says, may I ask someone new soon? Vase, put down, I want you to write a thing for me, 10 things that you want, like goal set. 10 things that you want this year. Write them down, work on them. Because that will give you that drive and direction and manifestation. Christina, will you get someone in your life very soon? Okay. So you won't meet someone very soon. There is an addiction to thinking that life is always going to be like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like this feeling of a romantic comedy, but it's just like there's no man falling on your lap, unfortunately. I wish there was. Um the cards are saying don't focus on the present, focus on the future. That's important. And the Hierophant. There's a feeling of like, if you're religious, is like finding a network, like going to church or some kind of connection like that, because you will develop a strong connection through your faith of some kind. It doesn't mean that you need to go to church, Christian, otherwise, but finding someone through your faith, going to services, and you meet that person through that, instead of being very much by yourself. There you go, Christina. I hope that helped. Cameron says, hi, what will the Scorpio think on my email regarding LD? They're going to save their replies. They're in their headspace, so they're going to pretend like they didn't see the email, but they think that whatever action that you take is good. Okay? You're very welcome, Christina. So they're very happy about the plan that you got, you know. Selwa says, please, ma'am, can you ask the pendulum when will my person contact me? So how many weeks until your person, Selwa's person, contacts them? How many months? Okay, first month. Okay, well then 2 weeks from now. That's what they're saying. That's what your pendulum's saying is 2 weeks from now. Fatima says anything a personality about my next romantic partner. Okay, he's going to be more in his headspace. He's also going to be quite messy. So there's kind of like this feeling of like not having the time or not having the energy to tidy. However, they do want to kind of build this life with you, like build a home with you. So you have to accept that if you want to deal with that, okay? Baha says, what does my ex think about me? No contact. Heartbreak here. This person is trusting the universe to take them where they're going. They also feel like their family and friends were kind of right, Baha, about you. So do you realize that they feel heartbroken? They really wanted this relationship to work, but it didn't, and so therefore they're trusting the universe, you know. Hello Ashin, how are you? Lovers says, will I keep the apartment after divorce or will I have to pay the ex-husband for the apartment? So you'll be able to keep this apartment, but you might have to actually pay some kind of repayment or something for that. Ashin, just keep putting your question down, okay? How much will this be? Half the property? Yeah, so it says half of the property. So yeah. Well, Manesia, she might have to, you know. It'll be half the property, so you'll have to either refinance it, or something like that. Lumia says the property manager just did an expansion of the apartment. What did he think? He doesn't want you to leave, even though he thinks that you don't always pay on time. It's better that you stay than he finds out a new person. So he doesn't want you to move. Alpha Libra says, who's my future wife? I'm a Libra. Could tell that. Ooh. Thank you, Mint, for the donation. Okay, give me 1 second and I will do your question after this. Please put your question down though. So at the moment, there's no future wife coming in for you, but I'll explain why. There's no future wife that I'm reading. So you have to let go of control. You can be quite controlling, or you tend to force things too much, and you should let go. And just allow the other person to be able to do a lot more things instead of control. There's fear in the past. There's kind of like a relationship that keeps weighing on your mind that you have to let go of because this is causing you anxiety, and this is kind of what you're reacting to when you meet someone like a new woman. You are like focusing on that too much, you know, and that's important. Okay, so at the moment there's no future wife, but this is because you've got to work through these. guys. Okay, Alpha Libra, there you go. Okay, Mint Ichia. Are you Mintia or Mintia? I don't know. Can you answer me what M thinks about me and will be something in the future? What does M think about you and will you be something together in the future? Okay, so there seems to be the lovers, so there is a definite yes. This person is thinking a lot about this connection. So this is like love. This is not established love yet, but it's a very deep love. The one thing is that you said, will we be something in the future? This person doesn't want kids. This could be that they don't want kids yet. So if this is important to you, like having kids, you have to like either let that go, you know, let that go and kind of move on from this connection. If you're like, oh, it doesn't matter whether I have kids or not, then this person's perfect, you know. They'll look after you anyway, but I think the kids is like the deal breaker. Ashin, will my child grow or miscarriage? I think don't focus too much on the feeling of that, because at the moment you're stressing yourself out too much and you are kind of elevating a lot of your levels. King of Cups in reverse. This a child, the male child is going to be probably a breech baby. So he's going to come to full term, but he's going to be coming out a little bit oddly, okay? So you're not going to get miscarriage. So yeah, it's not going to be a miscarriage. The pendulum says that it's not going to be a miscarriage, okay? So the thing is that he's just going to come out a little bit odd. So it's kind of like maybe it comes out like feet first as just like Sarah, it's a new one. Tarot Queen says, will I conceive the kid with my Gemini? Is it this year? It won't be this year, but you will get a kid with this Gemini. It's just going to be a little bit harder to wrangle him. It's like almost like you've got to like, you know, cowgirl like boots, your hat, your like your rope, wrangle him and go, we're having kids now. Okay, so what year is going to be? Yeah, second year. That kind of makes sense. Yeah. Oh, 1 year and a half. This is being very specific. Yeah, cowboy boots, your rope, you're like, okay, we're having a kid. Master says, I would like to know what Pisces is feeling for me. I'm a Libra. Thank you so much. Okay, so honestly, you work great together. King of Wands and Pentacles. So there's air and earth. This can be quite abrasive, but I think that you guys do well together. So Knight of Cups, this person's getting out of their headspace, and I think this is good because Libra, of course, put down your question and you'll have to keep on repeating until I see it. It might take a while. Thank you for your patience. But yeah, there's kind of like getting out of their headspace and realizing that you're actually great together. This is the first time that I would definitely say Wands and Pentacles are great, because Pentacles tend to be earth, they tend to be grounded, they tend to be more material, so they work very well with earning money. Ones with a passionate nature, they tend to be very extroverted. They tend to be very fiery, so they have a lot of creativity. They might even have a job that's creative. Hello, Marwa. How are you? Zara says, what will happen between George and the Capricorn and Markella? Thanks. So there is deep love here. There's deep, deep love. The Hierophant in reverse. They are going their own way in society, so they're not really focusing on what other people think about them. But that means that they are also a little bit scared, a little bit nervous, and they're not going to take the decisions that they need to take. So it's kind of like a hard thing. This feels like a very young connection. Like, like Romeo and Juliet. Oh, screw our families. We're going to come, and I'll make sure like I marry you kind of feeling. And with the Page of Wands, it seems like it's just too young right now for them to kind of really step up and get that over that hurdle. It's a hard thing, you know. Their love seems to be stuck together, so I don't think it's going to be as tragic as Romeo and Juliet. It's more like it's going to take them a while, a lot of school of hard knocks to get to where they're going. Iman says, may I ask about this Cancer crush? Attention towards me. Thank you. Okay. So honestly, I feel like you're more wanting him to stay than he wants to be around, unfortunately. I do feel like your kind of lust will cool after a while when you don't get as much response, because I do feel like you might be clawing at empty air. Yeah. So I don't feel like he feels anything for you. It's more like this feeling of background stuff, you know? Annabella says, here's my future husband. I'm Taurus. Okay, so you're manifesting this person in quite fast. I think that you already have like some idea of who you want to be with. This person's from another country than yours, and it seems like they come over for like university, something about a school trip, but it seems like more like a university study, like something that brings them to the country. You're going to be hesitant at first. You guys have some very good conversations, but you don't tend to pick up that you really like this person because you want to stay in your own country. And I feel like this person has to move to your country to be with you. So this is going to take a while for this person to come into your, like, decide that they want to move. So it's kind of like this feeling like you guys go, oh, well, we'll see how it goes. And it goes so great that you don't need to worry about it. Okay? Go. No worries. Manesia says, oh, did I say it right this time? Will Muhammad Amin's marriage with Sabaha be successful? I think it will be, but I don't feel like it's going to go as good. Oh, did I not say it right? Again. Okay. I'll try again. Um, but yeah, it's Munizia. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jean. This is why you need mods, people. Because they correct you. That's great. Thank you. Uh, so yeah, there's kind of like this feeling that the marriage would go ahead, but it becomes unsuccessful because he then has to look the Muniza. Must be my accent. Um, yeah, so he gets married to someone that's very emotionally insecure, you know. So there you go. Muniza. I just have to go the hard Z instead of the soft C. Okay, right. Muniz, Muni, oh my lord. Munizia. I'm not getting angry at you. I'm getting angry that I can't pronounce it. Za. I tried. I tried, okay? Mu ni za. I said Niza. How how have I said it wrong? Okay. Uh, so Pink Light says, "What does Frenchie not like about me, and what does he find that I don't like about him?" I think it's just the accent. I'm sure it's, but I also got diagnosed as a kid of being dyslexic, so you know, like, forgive me. Apparently we can't do things as great as like people that can actually read properly. It doesn't affect me so much now, but the pronunciation of things becomes a little bit harder, I think. So what does Frenchie not like about me, and what does he find I don't like about him? So he doesn't like that you are so much in the future when you need to focus on the things in front of you. So it could be that you tend to not worry so much. Um, what do you not like about him? His emotional mood swings. That's important. But I think that you're both still learning and growing, so I don't think that this is such a bad deal. This is not a deal breaker. You guys just need to work out these things. Um, what was it? Someone was talking about having a workaround for a partner. So instead of getting up them because they do something a certain way, you give them a workaround so therefore you don't get annoyed. So the lady that was in the her name is Vanessa von Edwards. Vanessa Edwards, and she is like a she used to be a lie detector, so she tries to spot lies, but now she does body language. And the interesting thing was she was doing a new thing for her new book, and she was like, I used to get really upset with my partner because he's lower conscientious. So he doesn't want to tidy up as much as I do. So she just gives him like a sock drawer. And then he's like, you know, Xavier says, I fell asleep listening to you. I do find that some people like, you your voice is so soothing. And I'm like, I feel like my voice is like a grated carrot. It's like that bit that's really weird. Baby Indigo says, how is our intimate relationship going to be? When will we get married? I don't have pre-experience. That's okay. It's fine. Um, it's all good, you know. Um, don't expect the first time to be great. Um, it's fine. You need to work with your partner and you need to explain them what you need. Because that's going to be hard. The first time around, they're not going to push the right buttons, and it's going to be hard. You're going to be like, oh my god, if this is what people like write romantic poetry about, I don't want it. And Temperance in reverse, you might be very frustrated with your partner because they aren't doing the right things for you. And you have to just sit there and go, like I do with my partners, like, you know, I demand foreplay. So the whole idea is it won't matter to him, baby Indigo. You'll be fine. The opposite thing is that you need to be fulfilled, not the other way round. Like we could talk about the other way round some other day. Buy a couple of books, but you know, harder for women, you know. Sorry. That's a very hearty love. Red Rose says, "How can I ask how Joel feels about me? You can call me Raffia." My my sister has a cat called Raff. I think he's not called Raffia, he's called Raff Raff. Um and now he's a little bit old, so he's very loving. He's a what is he? A Himalayan, I think. He's got the softest fur, but he's getting old, so he was like when I went out to visit them in Australia, um he couldn't see and he couldn't hear, and he'd like forget where he was in the house and start meowing because he thought that he couldn't get out. So sometimes he'd just like curl up in a bed and someone would forget and close the door, and then all you hear is this yowl, like yow. And then my sister says after a while, like, he's got his hearing back. I was like, how? And she's like, I don't know. He's just got it back. So I was like, oh, great. um, so he's a funny cat though. So how does Joel feel about you? He's very focused on you. However, there's kind of like a feeling of like getting a little bit confused, a little bit of the signals mixed when it comes to you, Raffia. So there's kind of like this feeling of wanting your attention in the past, but it didn't get reciprocated, and then being very unsure about things. So he might have been a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more like attention seeker, and you didn't want that, so you kind of shut that down. And now he's trying to find another way to really like get towards you. So, with the ones when the energy is directed towards someone, it's very, very strong, you know, and that's important because that strongness of that feeling. So yeah. But the fiery, passionate people, so they tend to burn out like a partner if they're just focused on that person. So you might be like, go do something else. Um, you know. Era says, how will my future husband look like? Will I love him? This is interesting because at the moment, Era, like you're more focused on someone that can bring in wealth. And I do feel like if you focus on error, that you will not be in a good marriage. This person will not listen to you, and they'll be busy chasing money. So they're not going to be in a period of looking after you. So there's kind of like this feeling of your paths diverging right now, because I've told you that you might start considering a lot more about what qualities you want. Do you want someone that's really like more at home? Then you might have to get someone that's um less dominant in some area, you know. The other thing that's coming through is like you have a choice here, and this could be this choice between this person and this one. So there is, I would say that I'm going to read this as like there's two choices here. So there is a King of Cups, which will be more kinder, but I do feel like this person's teaching. So more like a teacher than a high level executive. So you've got to realize that if you want the lifestyle of this person that is rich, you might have a hard time dealing with their kind of like how they deal with people, because that's coming with it. Um, they this cups might have like general kind of moods, but overall they seem to be very stable and very kind. They will be more at home than this one. So take your time. Both of them are very similar in looks, so they seem to be quite good looking. This one's a little bit older than this one, but yeah, brown hair, very like if you walked past them on the street, like the only difference that I could feel is like the King of Pentacles wears a suit. That's what I would say. So I do feel like you go with this person, just because there seems to be that diverging track, and you will start understanding who you want in for you. Dark Lucian says, Case feelings and intentions towards me. So honestly, this person's very directed towards you, but they're feeling very scared of coming into a relationship with you. They feel quite hesitant. So it's kind of like this feeling of getting outside their comfort zone. So they do have like a crush or a general like attraction towards you, but at the moment they feel like they don't know whether they want to take it or not. Twisted Fates, should I wait for and take my driving exam in my city or do it in another city? You being quite stressed before. Don't do it in another city. It's going to cost you a lot more. So I would feel like any kind of driving exam that you didn't go through, you're fine now. So do you realize that you need to just get to this driving exam slowly? So take your time with this driving exam before you book it in, but that's the case. I said that they'll get married, but they're not going to be going very well with this marriage. Pride and Prejudice says, channel message from Nick, and please, will I like my new apartment more? Okay. So your channeled messages from Nick is like, can you plan something? Can you plan something? It's a very important thing. Can you plan something? The rest of it is like, you're very cute, you're very adorable. Um, Almost like this kind of smothering, like hugging sensation. Almost like giving you a very big bear hug. Like almost like he's a very good hugger. He's got a very, very strong hug. Um, so it's more like a hug than anything, but it's more like plan. I can't plan for you, so plan. Um, and then will you like your next partner more? There seems to be some work involved in your next apartment, but I don't think that you won't like your next apartment more. It's just going to take time because you need to work on this new apartment. It's not going to be completely out of the box, you know? Uh, Sugar Cube. I wanted to know why this guy, sorry, I said girl, but you know, I meant guy. Used to like me, unfollowed me, and if the second question is answered, how do men view me in general? Okay. So I want to know why. There was a feeling of not being attracted to you anymore. There's like this feeling of getting out of their headspace and not wanting to follow you anymore. But I think that they unfollowed quite a lot of accounts, so that's important, you know. So that's the biggest thing. How are like how men view you as someone that they want to invest in? So it kind of feels like that's the case. So yeah, so with the magician in reverse, it's more lust, more like the ideas, more about the imagination. So this person got out of their headspace, so they're not attracted to you physically anymore. Um, but King of Pentacles, like men want to invest in you, like buy you gifts, buy you flowers, you know, splurge on you, you know. That's what most guys see you as. So it's more like, I don't know. It's kind of a funny thing about that. Because it's more about them than you, so you might be considered like a trophy or prize. Why not physically? So the whole idea is when people this could be just that he's not wanting to have a lot of girls on his Instagram. So it's like I'm following quite a lot of people. So it's just like trying to detox from Instagram. So it might be that he's still a little bit attracted to you, but there's like the imagination or the lust is gone, you know? And Nikia? What is Dan's current feelings towards me? Ooh. This person seems to be like traveling and get up and go. So even though they don't want you to leave them or like disappear, there's almost like this feeling of like selfishness. You know, like they don't want you to leave, but they want to do their own thing, you know? And that's kind of a hard thing that I would definitely feel like that's important. Shashank says, when will ex Shrishti come back to me? I think you're overspending your emotions on this relationship. Ace of Wands, you need to reevaluate how you're going to get this, because at the moment, you're probably annoying friends, to be honest, trying to get this person back in your life. But I don't think that you won't be getting this person back, because the Ace of Wands in reverse does not mean, but you have to reevaluate how you're going to get this person back instead of like overspending emotions. So, when are you going to get this person back? So, it's this year. When? Three months from now, okay? Donated again? Thank you. May I ask why Joel likes me? You could call me Raffia again. Like the name Raffia. Okay, so why does Joel like you? Cause he likes you. That's the biggest thing. He likes you. Um, there's a feeling that you're very emotionally attached to him, that he finds reassuring and very comforting. Also a feeling of that you worry about little things and he sees bigger things. So it's like you're almost cute and adorable because you worry. It's like the thought, like when you're thinking and you're very deep in thinking, you're very cute. That's what's coming through for you, Raffia. Um, Dua says Nazim love Dua. Is there question one, guys? Does this person love you? No, I don't feel like they do, unfortunately. I would say no to this question. So, they're not wanting to have like a house with you. They're getting very heavily distracted. And also the moon is like they're like giving up and walking away from family and friends. So it feels like even though their friends and family would want this connection, they're giving up this kind of advice. They're like, "Oh no, I don't really want to listen to you." So, okay, so first question, Kimberly. How does Marshall feel about me? We'll be finishing up soon, guys, because, I'm getting very, very tired. So, we'll be finishing up in 15 minutes from now. So I'll try to get everybody's second question done, but do realize that I'm going to feel very tired after this. How does Marshall feel about me? There's kind of like this feeling of like coldness and also like stepping away from you. There's kind of like this feeling of, I know I say kind of like a lot, so do bear with me. But yeah, there's kind of like, oh, I did it again. Like this person's trying to avoid you, like getting up and going. They're just like giving up this connection. Um, like almost sneaking out in the middle of the night. Gonna just ask a clarification card here. Don't usually use this a lot because, you know, kind of run out of time here. Forgiving and learning as you release and heal from the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So this feels like a card for you more than a card for them. So there you go. At the moment, it feels like they're just not in the same kind of love as you. Yeah. Shania says, will there be any future between me and Ollie if I try to talk to him nicely? If he talks about work. Okay. Hello, Mealy. Welcome in. So don't rush in. Don't rush into this, Shania. So you should not show the kind of like I like you, I want you kind of thing. Grow it slowly, grow the connection, and decide what you should talk about. So there's kind of like a lot of topics, but you should be wise enough to kind of go, well, do I really want to talk to this person today? And kind of let it go and walk away if it just doesn't seem like a good day. But I think that you should try, but you shouldn't be too obvious about it in the moment. Mealy says a February general message. Okay, so you're having quite a lot of strength this month, and that's good because you're going to be exploring outside your comfort zone. There's a feeling of like deep diving here. Like I'm getting a Mealy, like getting in a diver suit, like one of those old-fashioned diver suits, and like deep diving. So it's kind of a funny way of saying deep diving. It might be diving, but it feels like more like the word deep diving. So there's a lot of things coming through for you. There's a lot of different options here. But it seems like February's a time of exploration, working on that and exploring yourself and other people. Lady says, will I get back together with my children's father? I don't feel so because he hasn't got his act together. He's very inconsistent and he shows up on the when he shouldn't and he doesn't show up when he should. There's a lot of fear connection. You really want this to work out, but I don't feel like at the moment he's really giving you the space, and there's kind of like you're waking up to the fact that he is not going to be ever changing his kind of character. So I would say no to this based on these cards. A lover says, when will I get married or engaged, single for a very long time? Your heart is broken still, so you're still feeling very much in the heartbreak. So you aren't seeing a lot of options. So at the moment, you're really, because of the heartbreak, you aren't ready to seek the options to give you love. But there's going to be someone that comes in for you early next year. You're very welcome, lady. That gives you this commitment and gives you quite a lot of love. So this year, I would actually work with healing your heart, opening yourself up to other people, because you're still in this bit that you're protecting your heart, okay? Beverly says, tonight's conversation's going to go well. My ex Okayan's over on his way over to talk. It might not go anywhere, so you might muddle around, Beverly. So don't expect like the topics to be anything. It's just going to be talk. So don't get upset, don't get angry because, it's just going to be talking. But then there's kind of like this release of physical stuckness, and you can take or accept like whatever they say is true. So it's kind of like this feeling of the ball's in your court, Beverly. When it comes to this person, the ball is in your court and you can decide whatever you wish. But don't expect like the big questions to come up in this conversation. Girl, Wake Up podcast. Will my daughter be accepted into the school we toured today? How is your podcast going? I would say no to that, because you've got the heartbreak card. There's also seeing not a lot of other options. However, I do feel with um her father, there is a way of getting into another school based on either contacts that he has, or there's kind of like this feeling of a work school, like being able to apply for funding or something for the school because of his work. Weirdly enough. But I say no to this school, unfortunately. Sorry. The podcast is going okay. You're working on it. How long have you been working on it? What is Real Love says what's coming towards me in love, his character. So at the moment, you should let go of fear. Your fear is very strong, and this is influencing who's coming in, because with this fear, people can feel it, even if you can't, and you have to let go of this fear. There's also a feeling of being unsatisfied or being empty, so you might need to bring in a feeling of gratitude. So that's important. School is in California. That's weird because I feel like her father um can get her into a school. That's the weirdest thing. There's a feeling that because then if you get this gratefulness and you get rid of this fear, that you have a lot of options coming in then. Like a lot of options coming in. And this will be like giving up and walking away from some because you can't date all of these people. Okay? Moonlight says, question one, how does the person on my mind thinking feeling for me? Okay. They're wanting to overflirt with you. There's like this chasing for flirting, but they also are not very good at seeking your attention, especially in the past, and they're trying to grow this connection with you, okay? Nyla says, I'm getting a dream of mom and brother these days. What do they want to tell me? My mom was not in a good state in the dream. You are scared of not being able to protect your family. And I think that it's a good time for you to think how you would protect your family if something happens, but don't expect it to happen. It's not like this big thing. It's more like the subconscious fear of things happening. They're fine, they're safe, they're protected, but you need to figure out if you can look after them. If something happened, for your peace of mind, whether you could look after them. Okay? I have no one other than my daughter. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a subconscious thing. Crazy girl says, "Is my father with another woman?" She's also just fine. Oh, Nala, that's a very cute age. Is he cheated? No, he's not cheating on another with another woman. I don't think he could even yeah, know how to like show any kind of like dating acumen. He's been out of the game for so long, you know. Is your mom okay? Is your mom okay? Pendulum says no. Why? No, it's just like yes. Well, you know, you're much use. Thank you, Pendulum, though. She's getting old. She's getting old, and she's getting a little bit more frail. So it's age. So now that's what's happening. What is he doing now, sir? Nothing. It's like nothing. He's just doing the same thing over and over again. So after death is also age. I think there's kind of like this feeling of fragility. Maybe in her mind, she does miss you a lot. So there's kind of like this feeling of maybe she is feeling the same states. Like some people when they move over, they're just naturally back to where they are, but maybe she still feels like she should hold on to the same um kind of body that you saw her in last. I think that's kind of like a feeling of like she wants to greet you when you pass over. So you understand who she is. So there might be that kind of feeling of fragility or frailness because she wants to be still the same person for you. I don't think she's in pain. That's not coming through. She just doesn't want you to not know who she is. Light in the World says, "What kind of guy is coming towards me in love?" After I adore, I'm going to finish up tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I will be finishing up because I am tired. So it will be Achel, Idor, and who was I on? Light of the World. What kind of guy is coming towards me in love? At the moment, you're not attracting anybody in because you're still very stuck on your partner in the past or your ex. There's someone in the past that you're still very stuck on and you haven't let them go yet. There's a feeling of not feeling satisfied, not feeling um fulfilled, and that's coming through very strongly. So it might be that you're still dealing with trust issues and stuff like that, and you need to be a little bit more open and a little bit more sharing. So I do think that this person in your past has made you distrust other people, you know. Iodore says, "What would make my boyfriend trust me and be okay with me going out in a mixed group setting?" I don't think that he's going to trust you other than him coming with you there's kind of a feeling of like he knows that he shouldn't worry. It's more like he just wants to worry, all the time. So that's important. Like, he's not going to trust you unless he's there, which is not a good thing. I'd be a little bit worried about that. Anshel says AJ's true intentions right now and his next actions. He's thinking that you're not listening to him, so he's actually flirting a lot with you. So he's flirting a lot with you, but not, yeah, you're not listening. So he's flirting a lot. And there's a feeling of getting what he wants. So I do feel like it's taking a while for him to do that, you know? X. Let me ask a question. It could be that no one compares to your dad. So sometimes, like, even though it's not your ex, it's actually your dad. So sometimes it's your strongest one. So me, unfortunately, we're finished for tonight. Because I am really tired. I'm going to try to come back tomorrow. It's just like one of those things that's going to happen. So yeah, so light in the world, it's maybe the idea of your dad. Do you want a great guy to look after you? And that's hard because no one can measure up to someone that you didn't have as much time with. So I do feel like that might be something that you need to address. So I will love and leave you guys. Thank you so much. I will try to be back tomorrow. I'm not making any promises though. I'm sorry. Um, no worries. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Lots of love.